Amazing kids, 10 down to 1. So we have a pretty full house and always chaotic, but always a lot of fun. We enjoy anything and everything outdoors. So horses, dirt bikes, skiing, snowmobiling. We even enjoy going out in our RV and taking our kids to amazing places all over this amazing country. I've been in lending for about 13 years and absolutely love helping people live where they love. In fact, my wife and I on our vision board had a mountain home in mind where we could have our horses and our kids and more space, and a realtor helped me make that become a reality. I love helping people live where they love and becoming a homeowner either for the first time, a second home maybe down in southern Utah, or starting an investment portfolio. So having the right products like here at Ultimate Home Lending as brokers, we have access to a lot of different loan options. So whether it's a DSCR type of loan or a conventional right down the fairway type of loan, we can help them with any scenario. If it can be done, we can certainly help. And so I love that about Ultimate Home Lending. Technology, speed, and good communication is highly important to us. So again, we want to help your customers live where they love. Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got myself into this situation. You get to see my sweet cane. You can call me Brother Brigham if you want. May 2nd of this year, we were moving some vehicles around in our barn. We live up in Oakley and have a small little ranch and moving some vehicles. And my kids are pretty familiar with driving tractors and dirt bikes and even our side-by-side. So I told my 11-year-old son, hey bud, can you hop in the Ranger, bring it around the back? And so he was parking it, and I gave the universal signal, that's good, or stop. And he went to hit the brake, but accidentally hit the gas. And I heard an extremely loud crash. And then I heard just silence. And then my son turned to his 9-year-old little sister and say, I think I just killed Dad. Now, I'm in between two vehicles, and my back is thrown up against the back of my truck. And I can feel my leg just not doing good. And when I heard my son, I think I just killed Dad, I looked at him square in the eyes, said, bud, I'm going to be okay. I need you to listen. Please put it in reverse. Slowly back up. Put it in park. Savannah, I need you kind of quickly to go get Mom once he puts it in park. As he backs up, I look down and my leg is through the trailer hitch on my truck. Completely ingrained into my trailer hitch. And there was some grossness, I'll just put it that way, around, right? And so I was like, okay, this is actually much worse than I expected. And so I kind of sat on my truck, and my phone was in this pocket, of course. And so I'm grabbing it, and I'm on the Summit County Sheriff's Search and Rescue Team. So I have a direct line into the dispatch office. So I call him like, hey, this is S46. I'm down hard in my barn. I need help immediately. And that's all I said. And my wife came, and she took off my belt. She learned this in Young Women's, by the way, at Young Women's Camp, like 18 years ago. Takes off my belt, puts it on as a tourniquet, and helps me get down to the ground. And my breathing starts slowing, and I feel myself not doing well. And there's blood everywhere. And but we're staying calm. We're getting things done. Miracle number one, a police officer showed up, which we live in a really small community, not many police officers, but a Summit County Sheriff's Office, and Amy can attest to this, not many police officers around. And so within 2 minutes, he's at my house putting on his own tourniquet. In case he gets shot, he has a tourniquet. And he gives that to me and puts it on my leg. And he goes, hey, this is going to hurt a bit. I'm like, okay. And I'm pretty certain that this handprint right here is still ingrained on the back of that guy's calf. Because I cranked down super hard on that guy's calf as he was cranking down on my leg to stop the bleeding. So all of these medical professionals show up, and it's a small community. I know a ton of them. I serve with them on search and rescue, and helicopter lands. Just small side note, one of my goals is to own a helicopter someday, okay? That'll come up in just a minute. So it lands on my property, and I'm getting loaded up into the back of this helicopter, which I've helped load many other people into this same helicopter several times up in the Uinta Mountains. So I'm getting in, and I know the guy. Oh, real quick. So as I'm being wheeled out, I go, hey, honey, I now know that a helicopter fits on our property. So, at least we got the space. So we got that going for us. So then I'm in the helicopter. I'm trying to be strong. There's like 40 people, neighbors and community members that have all shown up because I heard the helicopter coming. And so they're all around. I get in the helicopter, and I know the air medic. I'm like, Spivey, listen, man, shoot me straight. Is this thing coming off, or like, what are we doing here? He's like, I don't know, man, but I'm going to take really good care of you. And he did. Lo and behold, I am super allergic to ketamine. Did not know that beforehand. Shoots me up with ketamine, going to anaphylactic shock. Stop breathing, whole deal, right? I'm like, hey, I went through the whole plan of salvation, guys. Like, it was crazy. I was both tripping on ketamine and dying at the same time. It was super weird. But, it was super crazy. Get into surgery, broke my femur, broke my knee, and didn't know this was a thing, but it's called degloving, where your skin layer actually comes apart and explodes, basically. So from my knee all the way up to my hip is completely exploded. And so multiple surgeries, multiple infections, right? In our household, my wife is the CEO of our house, and I'm out there just trying to make a living. And we have 6 little kids, and man, what a hard time. I'm trying to run these businesses, trying to help provide for our family. So for about 3 months, the best I could do was about 2 hours a day of work. And we all here are small business owners. We all are running our own business. We're trying to provide for our families, for ourselves, create abundance for other people. So I learned that I had about 2 hours a day. So am I trying to collect bank statements during that time? I was not. I learned how to go from chaos to clarity on what was super important in my life. So the first thing, how do I go back? Okay, is that really the right slide? We're missing one, but that's okay. So I actually had a very similar slide as Randy. So we're going to talk about 3 things today. The first one is teamwork. So my slide was of a NASCAR team. Super quick, right? Everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing. So I want you to write this quote down. And that is, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So again, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So we've all seen geese and ducks flying in a V, right? We've also seen Mighty Ducks, and they win the whole thing because of the flying V. It was awesome. But we have birds flying. There's 3 reasons why they do that. The first one is because of efficiency. They draft off of each other. They're able to go faster together. Secondly, they make sure that they know where every bird is. So they keep track of each other. And thirdly, it helps with coordination and communication by flying in that. If one of them gets out of the flying V, they slow down and they get away from their flock. So in your own business, do not go alone. We heard from our great Realtor panel this morning that you got to have a team. You got to have people who have your back. So I think of these in 3 ways. Family, community, and your work family. So this first picture with my super sad face on my 3rd surgery, we're just joking around. I was actually doing fine. But I kept getting infections. So I had to keep going back and getting debridement and all this dirt out of my, because I was in my own barn, so there's hay dust and all this stuff. So family was super important. My son to this day is doing fine. I know you're all wondering that. He is doing really well. He and I are closer than ever, and he is one of my best friends. And I love that kid. And it could have happened to anybody. And so even today, he's like, hey, Dad, you need a pain pill? What do you need? Well, I got your back, man. He's like a little drug dealer, right? In a good way, not any narcotics. It's fine. So family, community. Man, within, like I said, in just a few minutes, and some of them are in this room today, they showed up at my house. I had women doing homework with my kids that night. I had people at my house the next day helping clean and organize and do things while I was, at the hospital, and my wife could focus on that. You've got to have a community. If you don't have one, go get one. Go do what Randy talked about. Go make sure you are serving other people, because someday they're going to be serving you. I serve a lot in my community and do a lot. We go out and deliver cookies every Sunday. And we're out visiting different families, 4 or 5 families every single Sunday. And we love that. Create a community. Do something to get out and be with people. And then my work family. This other picture, the other cool thing about having a cane is I get to point at a bunch of stuff. And it's like move stuff. It's actually kind of helpful. But this is Jacinda, my business partner here at Ultimate. She came, this is after my 3rd surgery. So I had surgery yesterday. She's now in the hospital. Every Wednesday we have our team meeting. So she shows up, we're having a good time, and we're like, hey, let's just do the team meeting right here from my hospital bed. So we're going halfway through. I fall asleep in the middle of our Zoom meeting with our whole team. Pretty embarrassing. I'm blaming it on the drugs. So one thing that Randy came up to me afterwards, and you all have that domino. So relationships matter. Gratitude absolutely matters. So what the domino is actually for is for you to go give that to the person who has made a domino effect in your life, that's made a positive impact on your life. Who's on your team that moves the needle for you? So go give that domino to someone else. Okay, who in this room has ever watched a 5-year-old team play soccer? Okay. I'm pretty sure no one actually knows which team's goal is which. They do not know that there are any positions on a soccer team, right? It's wherever the ball is, they're just all in a pack chasing the ball. No one really ever scores. And then you get a juice box afterwards, and it's awesome. Don't be a 5-year-old soccer team. If you've got a team, your team needs to know their position. They need to be super good at what they're at. Make sure everybody on your team is in the right seats. Has anyone here read Good to Great? Yeah? So in the book Good to Great, really the biggest thing I took away is you need to have the right people on the bus and in the right seats. So make sure your team knows where they are, knows their position, so that you're not all trying to go after the same thing. I do not get paid by Gallup, but I'm a big fan of StrengthsFinder. You need to know what your team is actually good at. So first, there's 3 things that you need to know. Your own strengths. What are you really good at? What is your other team members? And then make sure the whole team knows what your team's strengths are. Okay? So that QR code will take you to the Gallup's test. You do have to purchase it. Again, I'm not getting paid by them. I just think it is so important that you know each other's strengths. To make sure that you are all headed in a flying V, you know your position. And when something comes up, who are you going to? It always should not go to the leader. It should go to the person with the best strengths. You are driving your business. You are the leader of your business. You need to know what your superpower is. Mine is not details. I am not good at details. I will admit that all day long. I hate collecting bank statements. I hate uploading stuff. I'm just so not good at it. To be honest, I'm not even good at making my own food. I forget to eat all the time. So, someone else actually helps me with that. And she's here. Thanks, Heidi. So, you have to focus on your superpower. You have to make sure you know what your superpower is and do that. So, yes, I'm a loan officer, but really, I am focused on relationships with 4 people in a transaction. I am focused on both agents, the title officer, and our borrower. That's who I am focused on. I want to make sure that that relationship is going extremely well. So I have a team. I have a loan officer assistant. I've got other people that are making calls and helping with these things. But my job is to make sure that the customer feels super supported, both agents feel communicated with, and the title officer that we're working on. So think about for a second, what are my superpowers? What am I really, really good at? And figure out how to offload the other stuff that you're not good at. So we're going to talk about this. I call this the triad of awesomeness. So I told you my little story about Randy, right? I was in this job, wasn't loving it. I didn't feel like I was achieving my full potential. And so I focused on these things. What do I actually love doing? What am I really great at? And then, does it actually convert into making money? So, what do you love doing? What are you great at? And what makes you money? Okay? So, that's the triad of awesomeness. You need to be thinking about these things in your business. Am I actually able to wake up in the morning and say, hey, I get to go help people with real estate today? Because if you're sick of getting up and you're not enjoying it, and you keep hearing about the rates and people not buying houses, you're not going to want to stay in this forever. So you need to be focused on what you're great at and what you love doing that actually makes you money, and do that. So let's talk about these are called HLAs, high leverage activities. So again, going back to my accident, I had about 2 hours of no brain fog, right, from oxycodone. So you have like this 2 hour window. So what did I focus on? I focused on my HLAs, high leverage activities. That is relationships. The thing I love about what Randy was talking to us about is our relationships absolutely matter. Because as loan officers, we represent you. If you refer us to one of your clients, we represent you. We work for you. We want to make sure you look good. Randy also talked about our care model, creating abundant referable experiences. We want to make sure that we're not, I call them relationship vampires. Has anyone ever heard that term? A lot of loan officers just take and take and take and take. We got to be given back. We got to work with this client, ask for referrals, get them right back to you so we're the same real estate team. That matters, right? So high leverage activities. So who's on your team? Write down for just a second either who is on your team, and are they in the right seat? Are they the right person? But I'm guessing, more importantly, who's not on your team yet? Who's not on your team yet? I know most of us don't have enough capital right now to go hire a full-time person. But let me talk about the last two. I think these are super important. All of you in your brokerages probably have talked about showing agents, transaction coordinators, open house agents. But does anyone in here have an executive assistant? Yes, Craig does. Okay. So I have two. I have an executive assistant that they are given that title, executive, for a reason. They are on that C-suite team with me. And one is in person and helps with all of the amazing things in person. But I also have one in Nicaragua, and she's full-time. And she's absolutely amazing. Speaks English and Spanish, is really good at helping with all of my marketing. Could you share that with maybe team up with 3 other agents and have them, split it in a third or a fourth or in half and get an executive assistant? Hire the people before you need them. I was so grateful that I had them in place before my accident because, man, all of that other stuff was just taken care of for me, so that I could focus on my family and getting back to healthy. So the other thing is a marketing team. So I've heard some really creative ways. So how many of you love posting on social media? Did I hear crickets before the laughter? I think I heard crickets. So no one loves making social media posts. They're awful, right? You got to spend a ton of time. You're like, I'm not a creative person. But man, that 16-year-old girl down the street in my community, she's really good at that stuff. Pay her $15 a reel, $10 a reel, whatever that is. Offload the stuff that you're not good at and let someone who is really good at that. There's other teams out there that will do freelance stuff because you need to be heard. We're going to talk about social media next, but you have a duty and responsibility to get out there and make sure people know your message and know your why. So number 2 is mission and vision. In the intro video, we talked about help as many people as possible to live where they love. I want that for people. I want people to thrive. I do not get intimidated by other people's success. I actually get excited about other people's success. It makes me want to do better. So when someone is buying their dream home, their first home, an investment property, whatever that is, I love it. So quick story. I do a lot of speaking at the Utah Highway Patrol Association. And after one of my speeches, this guy came up. And he's a trooper down in central Utah. And he goes, hey man, I've got my 4th kid on the way. We live in a 1,500 square foot house. I gotta get out of there, man. Can you help me? So the next day we're going through his loan application. I'm figuring some things out. And I go, hey, have you ever thought about keeping the house you're in, renting it out, and then buying this other house? Because it's possible. So not only can we get you a new house, but we can also make you a real estate investor. And we got the transaction done. That kind of stuff excites me more than anything else. Helping people to actually get to the next step in their life, to get a bigger house so that they can have their 4th child and not be crammed. And now he's a real estate investor. I am so jacked about his story because that's the kind of stuff we get to do and have the opportunity to do every single day. We'll skip that one and hit on social media. So again, we saw that raise of hands. Not everyone loves social media. That's okay. But this is one thing. So this is in front of the camera on the left, still cranking out some loans, right? I'm in my home office. And on the other side is this crazy leg all wrapped up. I'm not sure what's pumping out of my leg, but it's gross. So that's behind the scenes. I tried to make a couple of videos every single day because I want people to know Josh is still cranking out loans. I want them to know I'm available, my team's available to help people live where they love. That's my mission and vision. So I'm not going to stop just because I have a broken femur and gross stuff pumping out of my leg. So keep cranking out content whether you like it or not. Visibility is your responsibility. I just went to that. Did anyone go to the Limitless Arena event a couple weekends ago? Yeah, it was incredible. Super great lineup of incredible speakers. And Gary Vaynerchuk, who owns VaynerMedia, was there. And he said this phrase, visibility is your responsibility. Why is that? So true. What is that? Totally. You have a ton of knowledge up there that they don't have, right? And if you're going to get out in front of them, you have to be selling that. Okay, so everyone stand up for just a second, please. Okay, so stand up. So have a question for you. How many, if you have not made a post within the last 30 days on any platform, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, sit down, please. If you've not made a post in over 30 days, please sit down. Oh, Craig sitting down. Yikes. So do I, but we're going somewhere. If you haven't made a post in the last 2 weeks, please sit down. Oh, wow. Good for you guys. All right. Last week, please sit down. Okay. For all of you who are sitting down, this is your competition. These are the people that are getting seen and heard, potentially more than you. Now, okay, thank you. You can sit down. So visibility is your responsibility. That's if you haven't been doing that, you need to. If you hate doing it, find someone to do it. Because it is your duty and responsibility to be seen, to get your message out. So I just have a couple of tips. My time's almost up. But there are 4 things I want to talk about. Be authentic. I think most of us can be like, yeah, she doesn't know what she's talking about. There was a guy on a post the other day. I'm like, That is 100% not how it works. Sorry, right? Like, you've never done that before. So I just don't like it when people are not authentic. It comes through very easily. So be authentic, be you. People are buying not because of this, they had a lot of options. They're buying because of you, who you are, your personality, your skill set. They're buying because you're authentic. Number 2 is infotainment. So we're going to do something here. Put this down here. Okay, so the first thing is I want you to take your right hand in front of you and say information.
Information.
And your left hand, entertainment.
Entertainment.
Information plus entertainment equals memorable.
Memorable. Huh?
Information plus entertainment equals memorable. So when you are doing those things, people are going to remember you, right? So whether it's those funny voiceovers on Instagram or TikTok of someone else's audio, or a funny thing that happens in real estate, or is Marty still here?
Why does it need to be done right?
Maybe you're pissed off at your appraiser for coming in low, right? And so you're posting something funny about your appraiser, right? So do those things. High-heeled realtor, right? Crystal, knocking it out. She has a great name there. Mine is Your Mortgage Guy. Be authentic, entertain, and help people so that they remember you. Number 3 is consistency. 1 post a month, not going to help you that much. People need to remember who you are. Again, people think I'm like an extrovert. I'm really not. I hate making videos. Sometimes my beard doesn't look great or whatever, right? Like I just don't enjoy it. But I remember I want to help people to live where they love. And so I'm going to do my best to be consistent and get it out there, to be interactive, to entertain and inform. And then it must align with your vision. If it doesn't align with your vision, don't post it. Be authentic about your business, show people who you are, and your personality will come through there. So, Nicole, can you stand up for just a second? So this is Nicole Masco. Her husband, Ryler, was on the panel earlier. Give it up for Nicole. Thank you. So Ryler and Nicole have been friends of mine for a long time, and this is one of her great posts. They're realtors. They're also real estate investors. The thing that they do, they don't sell homes. They teach people about financial success, and they're doing that through the means of real estate. So Nicole is super duper handy, and so she makes these amazing videos transforming either it's their house or an investment property to teach people about, hey, you can do this. This is possible. You are stronger and more powerful than you think, and teaching people how to increase the value in their home. So she is amazing at this. People see it, call her, they get on. How successful is that for you, posting this kind of stuff?
It establishes so much trust. Like, I just got a call yesterday. Like, I just really trust you. I want to ask you questions about why. And I think this is because I'm authentically myself. And this is, I love this. Like, when you're doing, like, what do I love doing? I love creating beautiful spaces, and people love looking at it. So it creates trust.
It creates trust. And when Melinda made fun of this, I'm gonna say this. It is a huge investment for people. Probably the biggest investment of their life. So they need someone that they can trust and give advice or get advice from. So amazing post there. So thank you so much. So I'm almost done. So during the lunch break, I'm going to encourage you to do something. We have a laptop that we're giving away at the last hour of this amazing summit. And so I would like you to make a post on Instagram. And I want you to make a video of you here at the summit and informing them, hey, one thing I'm doing today is this. I'm learning and growing. Or, hey, I learned something great from Randy Garn today. So, and if you will do the @ symbol, which tags someone. So tag Randy Garn and Ultimate Home Lending. So tag @Randy Garn and @Ultimate Home Lending. And we will put all of those people who actually did this into a drawing for the end and give away a free laptop. Deal? Okay. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Thank you. That's great. Okay, so last thing is we talked about teams. We talked about relationships. As loan officers, we are your business partners. We want to make sure that we're doing quarterly business reviews. We call them QBRs. A quarterly business review allows us to sit down each quarter to have a plan of action. You know, the people that are actually doing transactions, have a plan. So we want to sit down with you, make a plan. Hey, what events are we going to be doing? So Justin Midgley and I are doing a house hacking event. We're getting people there to teach them how to house hack, how to get into the first home, how an ADU actually works. We're doing mailers. We're doing caravans, right? Whatever that is, we're getting our goals in place so we are in alignment with each other and having a marketing strategy. I actually have a little marketing studio in my office, and we do interviews together. So whatever that is, our loan officers want to do a QBR with you. So I have one ask from you. The mortgage loan officer that you were invited by, please accept an invitation from them to sit down and get a plan of action in place, because I promise we want to be your partner, and if we go together, we will go far. 3 lessons as a wrap up. Build your team, establish your mission and vision, get your social media out there because it is your duty and responsibility, and you don't have to be great to start. You just have to start to be great. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here.